Hey guys, it's Pram, and I'm here bringing you my tournament report for the Klaczynski Open. So normally on Deck Breakdown I generally try to go through a different deck, but since you guys requested it, I'm going to go through the deck I played at the Klaczynski Open and just kind of go over how I did with the tournament report, and we'll play a game with it afterwards. So first off is the Pokemon line. It's actually pretty standard: 1 Keldeo, 3 Kyurem, 2 Thundurus, 4 Deoxys, and an Absol. Pretty standard Pokemon line. Nothing really exciting going on. Honestly, I don't like Absol that much, but it's like I think it probably needs to go at some point, but I don't know what to put in instead of it. So at the moment, it is just staying in the deck. But yeah, this was like my least valuable guy out of all of these. So next is the trainer line. And 3 Chorus Machine, just a personal preference. I know some people like 4, but I just go with 3. Computer Search, this card's big. One of the things about Plasma is that you really need to you really just need to draw cards. So if you get a hand, early hand with your A spec and no supporter, well, you can still keep playing the game. 4 Hypnotoxic Laser, 4 Catcher, a Plasma Ball, 2 Tool Scrapper, and 2 Ultra Ball. I thought there was going to be a lot of Silver Mirrors, Float Stones, a lot of tool-based decks, and I felt the 2 Tool Scrapper was appropriate for the current metagame. May go down to 1, may stay at 2, depends on how the metagame shapes. At the moment, because Darkrai, Garbodor 1, I think keeping it at 2 Tool Scrapper is fine. The supporter line: 3 Colress, 4 N, 4 Juniper, 2 Skyla. This is the same supporter line I've been running in Plasma since US Nationals, and it's been pretty good for me. I like it a lot. I've been thinking about switching Colress and Skyla to flip-flopping the counts, but as of right now I like it as it is. 2 Verbank City Gem, just to work with the Hypnotoxic Lasers, 3 Floatstones, and 1 Silver Bangle. I ran both both Hypnotoxic Laser and Silver Bangle, just so you can get a lot of damage out, really out of nowhere. With Silver Bangle and Laser, that's plus 60. You don't really even need to have Deoxys on the field if you can get both of them off. My only regret was not playing 2 of these bad boys. That was a mistake. I should have played 2, but I only played 1. I admittedly did not test as much as I should have going into it. So my energy line was 1 Water, 1 Lightning, 3 Blend, 4 Plasma, and 4 Prism. Pretty standard here, except for the 3 Blend, 1 Lightning, and 1 Water. So the reason for this was because there was going to be a lot of Enhance Hammer, and I thought, well, how do you deal with Enhance Hammer? You can just attach basic energies, and that's really all there is to it. What I would have done differently is just play a 4th Blend and 1 Water. The 1 Water is sufficient. You really just need it for Blizzard Burn, and it's just good in that case. The Lightning is a little underwhelming. You just kind of have to get lucky with the Lightning, whereas the Water is kind of just good all around because your main attacker is Kyurem. So yeah, there's that. So let's go over my tournament report. So my first round, I went up against a Hydreigon deck, and this was actually a pretty easy round for me. He didn't run Virizion, so as a result, I Verbank Lasered and just kind of rolled him over for a 2-0 victory. It was a pretty good way to start the match off, or start the tournament off. So and then the next round, I played against a very weird brew deck. It was kind of like it was Cobalion EX, Keldeo EX with Lugia, and that was just easy sweep for Kyurem. You just go 2. I just 2'd that, get a 2, and yeah, I just kind of Blizzard burned all day against those 2 decks. So 4-0 at this point. Going into round 3, you can actually watch my my game on our YouTube on this channel. It's been featured, so if you want to watch round 3, I'll actually let you guys watch that. But the spoiler is I won 2-0. It was a plasma mirror. Round 4, I then went up against Ross Cawthon, and he was running Blastoise, as many of you know, and we had a really close series. It was really interesting. Game 1, I got like really far ahead, but then I made a mistake in my discards. I discarded my third Kyurem when at a point where I didn't need to, and that ended up biting me at the very, very end game, because I never actually got to use Blizzard Burn. He got some turns where he kind of dumped his hand and then catchered and then knocked out a Kyurem, and then I responded with a Deoxys, but then he catchered my other Kyurem that also had energy on it, and I never actually got the Blizzard Burn that game, which was very weird. And it would have been fine had I drawn my Absol off the prize just to get another non-EX attacker out. However, I did not until it was too late, and he came back for a victory with... I thought he was he had used all 4 superior energy retrievals, so I thought I was safe and I had won the game. But he, out of nowhere, played a normal energy retrieval on me, and that was totally unexpected on my part. And because I generally think just 4 superior is just pretty much the way to go. You can kind of devote your space to other ways, and I was thinking maybe he'd go along the same line of thinking. I was, however, mistaken, and that was that. I had lost game 1. Game 2, he actually had a much better start than I did, but that was only because my start was like supporterless, and I couldn't really do anything. So we were both just kind of passing. He was discarding ends and not playing Tropical Beach down, which actually stunted his board a lot. He was just trying to keep me from not drawing cards, but eventually I drew a Juniper before he got fully set up, because his setup was slowed down also by him not relying on Beach, which is a big part of the Blastoise deck. So as a result, I was really far behind in terms of board position, but then I drew a Juniper, got ahead, and rode that the victory. We had a fun little small talk about it. It's like he was expecting to lose game 1 and win game 2, but then and it was like the opposite for me. I was expecting to win game 1 and lose game 2, and we had like a weird thing where we're just, hey, this was kind of interesting. So then going into game 3, we were running short on time, so I knew this game wasn't gonna finish, and he knew this game wasn't gonna finish. So we kind of just raced for prizes, and unfortunately my setup wasn't as great as his was. I took the first 2 prizes, and then he took 2, but I was turn 0, so he was turn 1. So I took 2 on turn 0. I took 0 on turn 0, but I set up for a knockout for my turn 1, and then so I took 2 prizes on my turn 1 or on turn 2. He took 2 prizes on his turn 1, so he took 2 prizes first. My mistake, actually. I'm kind of recalling this as I go. So he took the first 2 prizes, and then I took 2 prizes, and then he took 2 prizes, and that was the end of the game. Had the game actually played out, I believe I was ahead on board position, and I would have had a very good shot at winning because he was running out of resources. But that is what it is, and he ended up giving me my first loss of the tournament. So I'm sitting here at 3-1, and then my next round opponent is another Blastoise deck, and Blastoise has really been the bane of my existence. it goes to we duke it out. We go to another game 3 eventually, and he makes a mistake when he had a good shot at winning the game, but he attached all his energy with Deluge before he skyled, and then he skyled only to realize his last catcher was prized, and as a result he couldn't really do anything, so I just won from there. That game was a little bit of wasn't so fun, because you kind of just want to play to the best, and you want your opponents to give you good games, but sometimes little errors like that happen, and then I guess that's a big error. But errors like that happen, and then you go from a really close game to a blowout instantly. So, ended day 1 at 4-1. Going into day 2, my next match was against a straight Darkrai deck at round 6, and it didn't run any Garbodor. It was just straight Absol, Darkrai, and Sableye. And then I just showed him the power of Verbank Laser Blizzard Burns. It wasn't pretty on his side of the board. Deoxys doing 100 damage. I played 2 Tool Scrappers, so anytime he played Dark Claws, I just got rid of them, and made it to where it was very difficult for him to get his trainers back with Junk Hunt, and really just rode the advantage of having non-EX attackers attacking EXs without the energy switch. The deck is much slower now, so it's much more difficult to get the lockout with Enhance Hammer, and then just kind of all of a sudden go into a Darkrai, and as a result, his deck was much slower, and my deck, Plasma, didn't really lose anything, so his deck just got worse, and that was that. And I 2-0'd him, going 5-1 into round 7, where I played Xander Pero, and he was running Hydreigon. Again, this match was also featured. It's in our channel, so if you want to go check that out, that'd be great. I'll leave that for that. And I ended up losing. Spoiler again. I ended up losing against Xander at a 1-2 record. So overall, I went 5-2 match wise. I did not make top 8. I didn't even make top 16. My resistance was pretty bad. I guess you can't expect much when you play against like a Hydreigon round 1 that wasn't very impressive in terms of deck lists, and then a Cobalion Keldeo thing. But it is what it is. So I did not make top 16, and I went 5-2. The only rounds I lost went to game 3, which is pretty cool. So I am definitely a big fan of the 2 out of 3 system. I worry how the 50 minutes will allow games to be finished, considering that I felt all my games I could comfortably and strategically play at 75, whereas at 50 things were a little more rough. Overall, I had a great tournament, had a lot of fun at the Klaczynski Open, played a lot of this game called Resistance, and yeah, that was pretty much my tournament run. So again, things I would do differently: I would probably change out Absol for something, I'm not really sure. I would play a second Bengal, and I would turn this Lightning into a Blend Energy. And that's pretty much all I would do with Plasma. The deck's kind of finished. I mean, this is pretty much a standard list from last year, with a cool little silver Bengal. It's not really all that special. The thing about Plasma is its ability to be like a playmaker deck. So the list will be very standard, but its ability to just play correctly is very important. I don't even think I'm at that level yet where I can play the deck 100% correctly. So it is what it is, which is another reason why I like Plasma Mirror. I generally find that I kind of like Plasma Mirror because better player can usually win, but if both players are at the same level, then it becomes into a coin flip, like all mirror matches, really. But this is one of the matchups where Plasma Mirror is one of the matchups where you can really get in there and then really just see who can out-strategize people. So anyways, that was my tournament report, and that was my deck. Let's play a game with this real quick. So here we go. Here we go. Got a Keldeo start. It looks like I'm up against Verizian Genesect. So this is a matchup I never got to play at the Klaczynski Open, but we'll get to see how this works. My hand is actually pretty good. Assuming I get to go first, that'd be pretty sweet. I got 2 basics. I get to go second. I think there's something wrong with the coin flipping algorithm, because I've seen every time I see the opening flip, it's always tails. I'm gonna start testing that out and just saying. I usually, on principle, just say heads every time, but I've never, in the maybe past like 8 games, I've always seen it go tails. It might be variance, but if it is variance, then it's very disappointing, at least on my side. Anyways, here we go. I got a float stone here. He didn't even play a supporter, so I'm definitely not going to play this end. I'm gonna get rid of it. Get rid of a Prism Energy for a. Let's get a Thunderous. So Thunderous comes down, attaches. I'm actually gonna computer search here. Mine as well. And we'll go with a Kyurem. We want to start powering him up, and then Juniper. So we get a Verbank and a Laser. This is pretty big. And now we're just going to retreat and ride a Knuckle. Alright. So this goes on the Kyurem. He wakes up. But I have a feeling I'm going to win very quickly. Oh, here comes Verizian. Gets a Plasma Badge. And heals his status effect. So this is where this deck can kind of fall apart a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, my laser, that's why I wanted to get the laser down now, before he could come out with any Verizian shenanigans. Looks like he did draw a supporter, so a little disappointing for me, but that's okay. He does not have a way to use Verizian yet, and it looks like he's just powering up Genesect normally, which is fine for me. I'm going to... luckily I have a float stone here, so I'm going to put a float stone on this Keldeo. And yeah, I'll just retreat normally. I'm thinking about catchering this guy, but I think I'm going to not do that. I'm actually just going to attach this Plasma Energy to the Kyurem, and then I'll end. So I'm going to just spread this damage out a little bit. I'll play down a Deoxys because I want to get this extra 10 damage in, and then I'm gonna play a Plasma Ball, and I'm gonna get another Kyurem. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start spreading out my energy. So I'm just gonna retreat, ride a Knuckle, put 40 there, and I'm gonna power up another Kyurem and just kind of get ready to go Blizzard Burn all over him. And luckily for me, I did draw my Silver Bangle, so this is very important. And now it's up to him to really deal with my setup. I've been pretty fortunate in what I've been able to get. Now, seeing that G-Booster come down is very good for me, because I do have 2 Tool Scrappers in my deck. So now I'm going to be able to I'm going to look for that Tool Scrapper very aggressively, and I'm going to go for it. So here, he's going to Colress Machine onto a Verizian, probably this one, and then maybe a Grass, and then retreat, and then Emerald Slash me. Yep, so that's what he's going to end up doing. In response to that, I do have a pretty good setup here. I might just catcher this up and Blizzard Burn it. It would do 120, 30, 40, minus 20, 120. So I'd be 10 short. Yeah, I'd probably just Blizzard Burn. this guy. Or this guy. No, I'm going to go for this guy. Yeah, we're definitely going to Blizzard Burn him. You know, sure, I don't get to use my laser, but that's okay. Yeah. So first things first, water here. Oh, this is tricky. This is actually very tricky, because I can take 2 prizes here, and then 2 prizes here. Yeah, we're definitely going to drop this Deoxys. And then we're going to... I want to get rid of this Genesect. So I'm going to catch it up. I'm going to retreat, because I don't even need the rush in yet. I have a Keldeo in play. Or a Sky Arrow in play. He does, at least. And I don't want to get rid of this Kyurem. Not yet. I'm going to just Blizzard Burn, and then see what happens. I'll get 2 cards. I'll have a Russian Retreat available if he doesn't deal with it. He will have to probably end up going with Genesect here. Try and deal with my guy. Which is fine, because that lets me put some pressure on with Ride and Knuckle. And if he catches around it, I can put on more pressure with this with this Keldeo. So he's in a very tough situation right now, because I'm gonna be going for this Genesect, and I'm gonna be going for this Virizion. Those are gonna be my final 2 prizes. So he gets a laser, and he might be going for a Megalo Cannon, maybe. If he can get a Verbank or 2 Deoxys in play, then that'll be very good for him. He ends me, which is something I kind of wanted. I did not want the hand I was given, and this is perfect, because now if this Keldeo or Kyurem goes down, I'm going to be able to attack with this one with a Blend and a Chloris Machine. And now all I need is a Silver Bangle, and I can knock this out, or I can just put pressure here and then Frost Spear. So I'm in very good shape right now. He lasered again, so that means he's down 3 lasers, and I can play a little bit more safe with the laser count. He hasn't used any catchers yet, so he ends up using Megalo Cannon, which is going to put it at 110, but that's fine. I can rush and retreat. I can still power this guy up, and that's what I'm going to do. So energy, and now I have to decide what I want to do here. Do I want to go after this, or do I want to go after this? I want to go after the Virizion, but I'll be doing 120 only, which is unfortunate. I think I'm just going to end without catchering. Yeah. Well, I did get a laser, so I can go after this Virizion. How many ends has he used? He has used 2 ends. So, but he did draw a lot of cards. It's a tough situation. I think it's safer to just go after this Genesect. I'm gonna retreat, and then I'm just gonna Blizzard Burn here. So this Genesect now only has 30 more HP. He's already gone through 1, 2, 3, 4 Prism Energy or Plasma Energies, so he won't be able to use Red Signal. Now he needs a real catcher and a laser to go through to get both of these Kyurems. So I think I am in very good shape here. That, or I'll need a catcher and a Deoxys. Either one would work. So he did have a 3rd end, so it's a good thing that I did not take the 2 prizes here. So he gets a Genesect. And now I can be a little bit more bold on knocking out EXs. I'm just going to go for these 2, most likely. He has the catcher. Now, does he have the Deoxys or the fourth laser? I have a feeling he doesn't even play Deoxys, because he would have Ultra Balled for the Deoxys if he had played any of them. And as a result, he didn't hit the laser he needed. He had wasted them all and conceded the game, knowing that there was no way he was going to win at this point. So there it is. Plasma taking down Virizion Genesect, a very standard straight version of it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys want to see next week. Yeah, and leave comments below. Thanks guys for watching.